Welcome to Elder Zen. Hit subscribe for simple health tips made just for seniors. Stay tuned. Your next great day starts here. Let's pause for a moment and imagine how much our world has changed in just one generation. Not so long ago, most of us never dreamed we'd be able to talk to family across the globe with a tiny device in our pockets, or monitor our health from the comfort of home. Yet here we are, living in an age where technology isn't just for the young or the tech-savvy. In fact, some of the most exciting advances in smart technology are designed specifically to help seniors stay healthy, active, and independent. But what does all this have to do with preventing something as serious as a pulmonary embolism? If you're like most people, you might think of technology as something that entertains us, connects us, or maybe even confuses us at times. But today, technology is stepping into a brand new role. That of a silent guardian watching over our well-being, alerting us to hidden risks, and sometimes even saving our lives. So, what exactly is a pulmonary embolism, and why should we care? Simply put, a pulmonary embolism is a blockage in one of the arteries in your lungs, most often caused by a blood clot that starts in the legs and travels upward. It's quick, it's silent, and it's one of the most dangerous health threats for people over 60. For many, it can arrive without any warning at all. But here's the good news: prevention is possible. Even better, smart technology is making it easier than ever for seniors and those who care for them to detect, prevent, and respond to the early signs of blood clots before they become a crisis. Now you might be wondering, are these smart devices really for me? Maybe you felt that new technology is more trouble than it's worth. Or perhaps you worry it's too complicated, too expensive, or simply not designed for someone my age. But let's take a moment to rethink that together. Because today's smart tech isn't about flashy gadgets or complicated apps. It's about simple, intuitive tools that fit seamlessly into your life. Tools that give you more freedom, more peace of mind. And yes, more control over your health. Think about this. With just a touch, you can now measure your oxygen levels, monitor your heart rate, track your daily movement, and even get reminders to take a short walk or stretch your legs. All of these actions, small as they may seem, can make a world of difference. When it comes to preventing blood clots and reducing your risk of pulmonary embolism, and you don't have to be a tech expert to use them. Many devices are built with seniors in mind. Big, easy-to-read screens, one-button controls, and simple, friendly reminders. But why is movement so important? Why does technology care if you've been sitting for too long, or if your heart rate changes slightly after a nap? The answer is rooted in science. Long periods of inactivity, whether you're traveling, recovering from surgery, or simply enjoying a good book, can slow the circulation in your legs and make clots more likely. The sooner you're prompted to get up and move, the better your chances of avoiding problems down the line. That's where smart tech comes in. Devices like fitness trackers, smartwatches, wireless oximeters, and even smart socks can gently nudge you when it's time to stretch, hydrate, or check in with your doctor. And it doesn't stop there. Today, there are special cushions that vibrates if you've been seated for too long, apps that send daily reminders to your phone or watch, and even sensors that alert a loved one or caregiver if you haven't moved as expected. Some devices go further, keeping a running log of your health data so you and your doctor can spot trends before a problem becomes serious. For seniors, living alone, or for families separated by distance, these innovations are more than just convenient. They're reassuring, empowering, and potentially life-saving. What's truly remarkable is how these devices bring families together, creating a circle of care that spans generations. Children and grandchildren can check in through an app, send encouraging messages, or help monitor health remotely. And all the while, seniors retain their independence, knowing that support is only a button away if it's ever needed. So, if you've ever worried about staying safe while living life on your own terms. If you've wondered whether those new gadgets are worth a second look, or if you simply want to feel more confident and connected as you age, this is the conversation for you. Today, we'll explore the world of smart technology for seniors, focusing on easy-to-use devices that help prevent pulmonary embolism and promote healthy, active living. From wearable monitors to simple home sensors, we'll show you what's out there, how it works, and how it can fit effortlessly into your daily routine. Get comfortable, keep an open mind, and let's step confidently into the future, where the tools to protect your health are as close as your wrist, your pocket, or your favorite chair. Because you deserve not only a long life, but a good life filled with the freedom, energy, and peace of mind that comes from knowing you're always one step ahead. Now that we've set the stage for the remarkable ways technology can empower us, let's dive into what's really out there and how it might fit into your daily life, no matter your comfort with gadgets. Sometimes, just hearing the words "smart" device can bring up images of complicated screens, endless instructions, and a feeling that maybe all of this is for the younger generation. But let's put those worries aside for a moment and really look at how simple, friendly, and even enjoyable these tools can be, especially when your health is on the line. Let's begin with the basics. What kinds of smart technology are actually helping seniors prevent pulmonary embolism? For many, the journey starts with wearable fitness trackers. Think of them like gentle companions on your wrist, always there, but never demanding too much. These devices, whether it's a Fitbit, an Apple Watch, or another brand, can count your steps, monitor your heart rate, and, most importantly, remind you to move. Take the story of Nancy, age 74. From Ohio, she got her first fitness tracker as a gift from her grandson, unsure if she would ever use it. But after just a few days, she noticed the little buzz on her wrist when she sat too long watching her favorite morning shows. At first, I ignored it. Nancy laughs, but then I thought, why not? She'd get up, walk to the kitchen, or do a quick stretch. Over time, those gentle reminders helped Nancy develop a habit of moving every hour. Her doctor praised her at her next appointment, saying she'd lowered her risk for clots without even realizing it. But wearables aren't the only option. For those who prefer not to wear anything on their wrist, smart home devices have become quiet helpers in the background. Imagine a small device placed near your favorite armchair. It senses when you've been sitting for a long period and chimes a soft alert, almost like a friend nudging you. Time to get up. That's exactly what motivated Bill, 81, a retired teacher from Arizona, to start adding more steps to his day. After his daughter installed a smart cushion in his recliner, Bill found himself stretching his legs more often and, as he says, feeling less stiff and more like my old self. These simple prompts, delivered in a friendly voice or a gentle vibration, are designed to feel like encouragement, not nagging. And then there are devices that take prevention a step further, literally. For example, wireless pulse oximeters, which simply clip onto your finger, can keep track of your blood oxygen levels and heart rate. The readings are clear and easy to understand. Whenever Martha, 77, from Florida, felt a bit breathless after gardening, she'd use her fingertip oximeter. It became part of her routine, just like checking her watch. If the numbers seemed lower than usual, she'd slow down, hydrate, and let her son know. One afternoon, after a long day outside, her oximeter showed a sudden drop in oxygen. Because she was paying attention, Martha called her doctor and caught a small problem before it turned serious. It's a simple device, but it gave Martha the confidence and control she needed to enjoy her days without worry. Some families even go a step further and link these devices with smartphone apps so adult children or caregivers can receive updates and send reminders even from hundreds of miles away. Take the case of the Peterson family, scattered between New York and California. Their mother, Evelyn, 85, lives alone in Missouri. But thanks to a connected step counter and a health app, her children can check in, send encouraging messages, and even notice if her activity drops unexpectedly. For Evelyn, the technology didn't just help her stay healthy, it helped her feel loved and connected, no matter the distance. All these stories point to one truth. Smart technology is no longer about complicated computers or endless settings. It's about gentle nudges, useful data, and a little peace of mind. Whether you prefer a watch, a cushion, or a fingertip clip, there's something out there for everyone. And the best part? These devices don't just sit there, they work for you, quietly and faithfully, in the background of your daily life. So, as we move forward, keep these stories in mind. Picture yourself or someone you care for taking simple steps, guided by a friendly device toward better health. Because prevention doesn't have to be a burden. Sometimes it's as easy as listening for a gentle buzz, standing up, and taking the next step into a healthier, more independent life. As we continue this journey together, you might be wondering, with all these options, how do I choose the right technology for myself or for a loved one? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer, and that's actually a good thing. Everyone's daily rhythm is different. Some people, like Donna in Colorado, want a device they can wear everywhere, something that doubles as a watch, a reminder, and even a way to count their steps while walking the dog. Others, like Frank from Georgia, feel more comfortable with simple home-based gadgets. Those that blend right in with the furniture and don't require constant attention. So, where do you begin? The key is to start by asking yourself or your family member a few gentle questions. Do you enjoy technology, or do you prefer things to be as hands-off as possible? Are you often on the move, or do you spend more time relaxing at home? You like to see progress and numbers, or would you rather get a friendly buzz or chime now and then, reminding you to stretch and move? Each answer can guide you toward the device that fits most naturally into your life. Let's look at some real examples. Donna, who we just mentioned, decided to try an Apple Watch after her neighbor raved about its gentle reminders. The first week, she admits, it felt a bit odd, a little tap on the wrist every hour when she'd been sitting too long. But gradually, those reminders became part of her daily rhythm. She started getting up during commercial breaks, walking to the mailbox, just for fun, and even inviting her granddaughter for short strolls around the block. For Donna, seeing her step count go up every day was a small victory, a visible sign of progress that kept her motivated. Now, Frank's story is a little different. After heart surgery, he was told by his doctor to avoid long periods of sitting. But Frank didn't want to fuss with screens or chargers. His daughter ordered him a smart seat cushion, which sat quietly in his favorite recliner. Every 90 minutes, it sent a gentle vibration just enough to get Frank to his feet. Sometimes I'd just walk to the kitchen and back. Frank chuckles, but it made a difference. I felt less stiff, and my doctor said my circulation was better than ever at my next checkup. Of course, some folks like Barbara from Texas prefer a device they can pick up and use only when they feel it's needed. For Barbara, a fingertip pulse oximeter sits on her side table, ready to check her blood oxygen anytime she's feeling breathless or tired. It's quick, painless, and gives her immediate peace of mind. She's not glued to the numbers, but she's empowered by the knowledge that she can check in with her body anytime she wants. Choosing your device is only the first step. The next, and perhaps the most important, is building new, healthy habits. It's not about turning your life upside down or giving up the things you love. Instead, it's about making small, sustainable changes that add up over time. Maybe it's standing up and stretching during every TV commercial. Like Donna, maybe it's responding to a seat cushion's nudge with a walk to the mailbox. Like Frank, or maybe like Barbara, it's just checking your oxygen when something feels off. So you can act early and avoid bigger problems down the line. And let's not forget, sometimes the best habits are the ones we share. Nancy from Ohio started walking with her neighbor every afternoon after both got new fitness trackers. Their friendly competition turned a healthy habit into a cherished ritual. We talk, we laugh, and we always try to outdo each other. Nancy grins. I never thought I'd look forward to exercise, but now it's the best part of my day. These stories remind us that technology isn't about screens, wires, or complicated instructions. It's about supporting the life you want to live, making it a little easier to stay healthy, a little more enjoyable to move, and a lot more reassuring to know you're not facing health risks alone. So, as you think about which device or routine might work for you, remember this. The most important step is simply to start. Whether you choose a fancy smartwatch, a smart cushion, a classic step counter, or a simple reminder on your phone, what matters is that you're moving, paying attention, and embracing new habits that keep you healthy and independent. And as you go, don't hesitate to reach out to friends, family, or even your doctor for advice. The right support and the right device can transform not just your health, but your entire outlook on life. Let's keep moving forward, one step and one smart habit at a time. Now, let's be honest, no journey with technology or with forming new habits is ever completely smooth. There will be days when things just don't work as planned. Maybe your device's battery dies right when you need it most. Or perhaps you accidentally ignore a reminder because you're wrapped up in a great phone call with a grandchild. It's natural to feel a bit frustrated when technology doesn't do exactly what you hoped, or when old routines are hard to change. The good news is, every challenge is just another step toward building a healthier, safer lifestyle. First, let's talk troubleshooting, because even the smartest gadgets need a little human help from time to time. Take Bill from Michigan, for example. Bill loved his new step counter, but after a few weeks, he noticed it wasn't tracking all his movements, sometimes missing steps when he walked with his cane. Instead of giving up, Bill called his daughter Jessica, who helped him update the settings and even called the company's customer service line for some tips. After a simple adjustment, Bill's device worked perfectly, and he felt back on track. Bill's story reminds us that asking for help is not a weakness. It's actually the smart thing to do. Whether it's a neighbor, a family member, or even a local tech support group, there's always someone willing to lend a hand. Next, let's address something we all face: motivation. When you're just starting out, it's easy to be excited, to set goals and celebrate little victories. But what about the days when your energy is low, when the weather is bad, or when you simply don't feel like making a change? That's when you need a little extra inspiration, and sometimes a bit of friendly competition can help. Take Linda, a retired teacher from Florida. She set up a friendly step count contest with her sister, who lives all the way in California. Every week, they'd compare notes, laughing about who took more steps, who walked in the rain, and who skipped a day for a slice of chocolate cake. Linda says those lighthearted phone calls kept her accountable, even on days when it would have been easier to just sit and read. But what if motivation is hard to come by, especially if you're facing health challenges or living alone? That's where connection comes in. It's not just about the technology or the data, it's about feeling part of a bigger community. Consider the story of George and Mary, a couple from Illinois. After Mary's doctor recommended regular movement to prevent blood clots, George bought matching fitness trackers for both of them. They started taking evening strolls together, and soon, other neighbors began joining in. Their block walk grew from 2 people to a dozen, all ages, all abilities, all sharing stories and encouragement. Mary says she never imagined technology could bring so many people together, or that something as simple as a walk could become the mythic highlight of her week. And let's not forget the digital communities that have sprung up all over the country. Online support groups, Facebook communities, and even video chats offer a way to check in, share progress, and cheer each other on. Susan, A widow in Arizona found a group for seniors interested in healthy aging. She joined weekly Zoom calls, where members swapped stories, shared tips on their favorite gadgets, and offered encouragement through setbacks and successes. For Susan, those calls made a huge difference, not just in her physical health, but in her emotional well-being too. In the end, whether you're fixing a tech glitch, pushing through a day when motivation is hard to find, or reaching out to others for support, remember this: you are not on this journey alone. Every question, every challenge, and every small win brings you closer to the healthy, independent life you deserve. So don't let the little frustrations stop you. Instead, see them as opportunities to learn, to connect, and to grow stronger. Remember Bill, Linda, George, Mary, and Susan, real people just like you, who found ways to overcome obstacles and make healthy living part of their story. As we wrap up this segment, let's take a moment to consider who you might reach out to for support, or who you could invite on your next walk. Sometimes, a simple "How are you doing?" or "Want to join me?" can be the spark that keeps both of you moving forward. Together, let's keep the momentum going, because every step, every stretch, and every story matters on this path to better health. As we turn the page to building lasting habits, it's important to remember that the real power of smart technology doesn't come from the devices themselves. It comes from the small, consistent choices you make every day. Let's face it, starting something new can feel overwhelming, especially when it's a gadget with settings, updates, and strange beeps or lights. But here's the truth: you don't have to become a tech expert overnight. In fact, the secret to success is often starting small and celebrating each little win along the way. Take Alice from North Carolina, for example. At 82, Alice received a smartwatch from her grandson, Tyler, as a birthday gift. At first, she hesitated. She'd always preferred an old-fashioned watch and wasn't sure she'd remember to charge something new every night. Tyler offered to help set it up, and together, they picked a daily step goal. Rather than aiming high right away, they started with 1,000 steps a day just around the house and backyard. Each week, they added a little more. Alice soon discovered she loved seeing her progress. The gentle vibration of her watch when she hit her goal gave her a sense of pride and accomplishment, like getting a gold star in school again. The beauty of forming a new habit is that it's flexible. You can personalize it to fit your life, your health, and your preferences. Some people, like Alice, enjoy setting a daily goal. Others, like her neighbor Frank, prefer tracking their sleep or monitoring their heart rate, using that data to spot patterns and make gentle improvements. Frank, for instance, realized he felt more alert on days when he walked in the morning rather than in the afternoon, so he gradually shifted his schedule. The key is paying attention to what feels good for you and letting your device become a supportive partner, not a nagging reminder. Now, let's talk about how to keep habits alive over time. We all know how easy it is to start strong, only to have motivation slip away after a few weeks. The trick? Make your healthy habit part of your daily routine. Tie it to something you already do. For instance, Alice made a deal with herself. Every morning after breakfast, she'd walk while listening to her favorite oldies radio show. If you enjoy TV in the evening, try standing up and marching in place during commercials. Even while waiting for the kettle to boil, you can stretch, rotate your ankles, or practice deep breathing. And don't forget the power of reminders. Use your device's alarm or notification feature not to nag you, but as a friendly nudge. Bob, a retired firefighter from Ohio, programmed his phone to gently remind him every hour to get up, even if just for a glass of water or a look out the window. At first, he was skeptical. But soon, those little breaks became moments to check in with his body, stretch out his legs, and chat with his wife about their day. Sometimes, you might feel your enthusiasm fading, especially if you hit a rough patch, maybe a cold keeps you indoors, or a vacation throws off your schedule. This is completely normal. The most important thing is to be kind to yourself. Remember, habits are like muscles. They get stronger the more you use them, but they don't disappear overnight if you miss a day or two. Start again just as gently as before. Set realistic goals and give yourself credit for every effort. It can also help to celebrate milestones, no matter how small. When Alice hit 10,000 steps in a week for the first time, her family threw her a little party, just them, a cake and a phone call to Tyler to share the good news. Frank started keeping a calendar on the fridge and would give himself a star for each week he stayed on track. Bob and his wife Sharon made a habit of toasting a glass of water each night in honor of their daily walks. Finally, remember that building healthy tech habits is not just about you. It can ripple out to your friends, your family, and even your neighbors. Share your progress. Invite someone to join you, or simply offer a word of encouragement to someone else starting their journey. The more we support each other, the easier it becomes for all of us to create lasting, meaningful change. So, as you move forward, know that every step, every small choice, and every kind word to yourself is a building block for better health. Let your smart device be a partner on this journey, a tool you use, not a taskmaster you fear. Your best habits and your best days are still ahead. Let's keep moving forward together. As we draw closer to wrapping up this important topic, let's focus on the most essential ingredient for success: keeping your motivation high and your sense of safety front and center. It's easy to get excited about new technology and fresh habits in the first few days, but the real victory comes from weaving these tools into the fabric of your daily life. And often, the best lessons come from people just like you, ordinary folks making extraordinary strides, with a little help from smart devices and a supportive community. Take the story of Edna, a 75-year-old grandmother from Texas who never thought she'd be using a smartphone, much less a fitness tracker. Her daughter Maria wanted to make sure Edna stayed active after a mild health scare. Together, they set up a device that tracked her steps and sent gentle reminders to move every hour. At first, Edna was unsure. "I'm too old for this tech stuff," she'd joke. But Maria encouraged her, showing how a simple walk down the driveway could become a point of pride. Before long, Edna was checking her steps, competing playfully with her neighbor Gladys, and even sending heart emojis to Maria as a thank you for her support. It's these personal touches that make all the difference. Technology alone is just a tool, but when you add in a dose of encouragement, a dash of friendly competition, or the support of loved ones, the journey becomes not just doable, but downright enjoyable. The same goes for safety. As much as we want to stay active, it's crucial to use technology wisely. Always double-check that your devices are charged and worn properly. Keep your doctor informed of any new symptoms or changes, especially if your device alerts you to something unusual. Let's not forget the practical tips that can make your routine both safer and more fun. For example, Fred, an 80-year-old veteran from Ohio, liked to pair his morning walk with his favorite jazz playlist, using a wireless speaker he clipped to his belt. It turned an ordinary stroll into a daily event he looked forward to, rain or shine. When the weather was bad, Fred used a step tracking app to march in place by his living room window, still meeting his goal for the day. Sometimes, the right technology even brings distant family closer. Consider Susan, whose son Mike lives across the country. They both downloaded the same health app and made a deal to compare daily step counts and water intake each night. Even with miles between them, that simple connection became a new way to check in and cheer each other on. As you're building your own tech-powered habits, remember to celebrate small victories. Did you meet your goal for the week? Mark it on your calendar, tell a friend, or treat yourself to a favorite snack or a new book. Motivation grows when you recognize your own progress. If you ever feel discouraged, remind yourself that every effort counts. Even if you don't hit your target every single day, The fact that you're paying attention and caring for yourself is a huge achievement. Reach out if you need help. Ask family members, friends, or even your pharmacist or doctor. If you get stuck with a setting or notification. Also, don't be afraid to update your goals as you go. Maybe you started with a simple aim, like getting up every hour, but now you're ready to add a little more, maybe tracking your sleep, heart rate, or even joining a local walking group. Flexibility keeps things interesting and lets you adapt as your needs or health change. Most of all, stay connected. Technology can sometimes feel isolating, but it can also be a powerful bridge. Share your journey, encourage others, and ask questions. Join an online community or a local group. Many libraries and senior centers now offer tech classes and health workshops where you can learn and laugh together. In the end, most successful stories are rarely about perfect numbers or flawless routines. They're about real people like Edna, Fred, and Susan, who took small, brave steps, learned as they went, and discovered that with a bit of curiosity and support, technology can open doors to healthier, happier days. So, as you look ahead, know that every step, stretch, or healthy habit powered by smart tech and your own determination brings you closer to the life you want. Stay safe, stay inspired, and let's keep cheering each other on every single day. Now, as we talk about using smart technology to stay healthy and prevent serious risks like pulmonary embolism, let's pause for a moment and acknowledge something important. Getting started isn't always easy. Many seniors, and frankly people of all ages, feel nervous or skeptical about adding new gadgets into their daily routine. Maybe you've heard someone say, "I'm too old to learn this," or "all these devices are too complicated for me." If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. But here's the truth. You don't have to be a tech whiz to benefit from these tools. In fact, some of the most successful stories come from people who started out unsure and ended up loving the extra support that technology can bring. Take, for example, the story of Walter, a retired bus driver from Michigan. Walter admits he was intimidated when his granddaughter bought him a smartwatch for his birthday. At first, the notifications felt overwhelming: messages about standing up, reminders to drink water, even little animations cheering him on. "I was about ready to stick it in a drawer," Walter jokes. But his granddaughter, Emily, spent an afternoon walking him through the basics, turning features on one at a time. Slowly, Walter found that he actually liked the encouragement. Now, he sends Emily updates on his daily walks, and their bond has grown even closer. Walter says, "If I can do it, anyone can." Stories like Walter's are more common than you might think. The key is to start small, pick just one device, or even one feature, and get comfortable with it before moving on. Maybe it's a simple step tracker or a pill reminder app on your phone. Celebrate your wins, no matter how tiny. Each step you take is progress, not just for your health, but for your confidence as well. Another common hurdle is the fear of messing up or accidentally breaking the device. Here's some good news. Most tech today is designed to be user-friendly and forgiving. There are reset buttons, helpful customer service numbers, and online video tutorials for almost every device under the sun. And don't forget about your community libraries, senior centers, and even local electronic shops often offer free or low-cost tech lessons tailored for older adults. Reaching out for help isn't a weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. Let's not overlook the challenge of building lasting habits. New routines can be hard to stick with. Life gets busy, or you might have a day when you simply forget to use your gadget. That's perfectly normal. The secret is to be gentle with yourself. Try tying your new tech habit to something you already do. Check your step counter when you have your morning coffee, or charge your device while you eat dinner. Habit stacking, as it's called, can make change feel effortless. Here's another story, this time from Alice, a 77-year-old in Arizona. Alice loved gardening, but struggled with remembering to take breaks and hydrate in the hot sun. Her daughter set her up with a water reminder app and a fitness band that buzzed every hour.
First, Alice rolled her eyes.
But soon, she realized. Those gentle nudges kept her feeling better throughout the day. Her garden flourished, and so did her energy. There's also value in making your journey social. Invite friends or family to join you. Set shared goals, like walking a mile together each week, or sending each other reminders and encouragement. For many seniors, these connections make the difference between a gadget gathering dust and a tool that truly enhances their life. To sum it up, getting started with tech may feel daunting, but you have more resources and support than you realize. Approach it one step at a time. Lean on the people around you, and most of all, keep an open mind. Like Walter and Alice, you might just discover that a new device isn't just a piece of technology. It's a bridge to better health, more independence, and deeper connections with the people you love. So as you move forward, remember that it's okay to ask for help, to make mistakes, and to celebrate every milestone, no matter how small. With patience, practice, and a positive attitude, you'll find that building lasting healthy habits with smart tech is not only possible, but genuinely rewarding. As we move forward, let's focus on something that truly amplifies the power of technology: community support and everyday connection. While smart devices and gadgets are valuable allies in the fight against pulmonary embolism, they become exponentially more effective when woven into the fabric of our social lives, our families, friendships, and neighborhoods. Consider the experience of Dorothy from Ohio. Dorothy, a spirited 82-year-old, was never much for all that modern stuff, as she'd say with a wink. But when her church group started a wellness challenge, each member sharing their step counts and hydration goals, Dorothy's curiosity was piqued. Soon, her daughter set her up with a basic fitness tracker. Each week, Dorothy would call her friend Ruth to compare progress, laugh about their digital races, and share tips for staying active. The real magic wasn't just in the device, but in how it strengthened bonds, created healthy competition, and made prevention a shared journey rather than a solitary chore. This idea of not going it alone makes all the difference. Let's face it, maintaining new habits or sticking to health routines is so much easier when we feel supported. If you're struggling to remember your daily steps or water intake, reach out, invite a friend to join you, or ask a neighbor to be your accountability partner. Even sharing your successes and challenges with a grandchild can turn a simple walk or device check into a treasured memory. And it's not just friends and family. Many communities now offer tech workshops at senior centers, libraries, or even through local health clinics. Take Harold, for example. At 76, Harold wasn't sure how to sync his new smartwatch to his phone. He signed up for a free class at his local library, where he met others with the same questions. By the end of the week, Harold was helping newcomers figure out their apps, and he'd made new friends he'd never expected. It's funny, he laughs. I thought I was signing up for a gadget lesson and got a whole new social circle. But technology and community are only part of the story. Everyday habits matter too. Remember, you don't need a fancy device to make a real difference. Keep moving throughout your day, even if it's just gentle stretching or a stroll around the living room. Drink plenty of water and listen to your body's cues. If you use a device, let it remind you, but don't let it replace your instincts or your common sense. And when you do notice something unusual, swelling in a leg, eye shortness of breath, or unusual fatigue, don't hesitate to speak up. Technology can give you data, but you are the true expert on how you feel. Reach out to your healthcare provider and don't worry about seeming like a bother. Doctors would always rather check a false alarm than miss a warning sign. Let's also encourage each other to stay informed. Share what you learn from videos, articles, or even these group wellness challenges. Pass along tips about helpful apps, easy-to-use devices, or simple movement routines. When we pool our knowledge and look out for one another, we make our communities safer, stronger, and more resilient. So, whether you're a tech enthusiast like Harold, a community builder like Dorothy, or someone just taking the first steps into a healthier routine, know that you're not alone. Every effort counts, every connection matters, and together, we can turn prevention into a daily practice and a shared adventure. As we approach the close of our conversation, remember, the future of senior health isn't about gadgets replacing human care. It's about using every tool at our disposal. Supported by the warmth of community, the wisdom of experience, and the strength of connection. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep supporting one another. That's how we turn technology into real, lasting well-being. Now, as we look honestly at this new landscape of smart technology, it's only fair to admit that embracing these changes doesn't always feel easy at first, especially if you've spent most of your life without the buzz of step counters. Digital reminders, or BLUETOOTH connections. For many seniors, technology can seem more intimidating than helpful, at least in the beginning. But here's an important truth. Every skill starts as a question, and every expert was once a beginner. Let's take the story of Walter, a retired school principal from Michigan. Walter always prided himself on keeping up with the times. But when his doctor suggested using a wearable device to monitor his heart rate and activity, Walter felt hesitant. He worried about setting it up, misunderstanding the data, or accidentally pressing the wrong button. For a while, his device sat in the box on the kitchen table. Then, one evening, his grandson Ethan came over for dinner. Over a plate of spaghetti, Ethan patiently helped Walter set up his new watch. Together, they walked through each function, tracking steps, setting medication reminders, even sending a quick SOS message if Walter ever needed help. Walter soon discovered he enjoyed checking his progress, and it became a point of pride to beat his record each week. What started as a source of anxiety turned into a bridge between generations, a chance to laugh and learn together. Stories like Walter's remind us, it's never too late to try something new, and asking for help is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Sometimes, the barrier is as simple as not knowing where to start. That's why so many libraries, community centers, and even healthcare providers now offer free technology lessons. If you ever feel overwhelmed, reach out. Most young people are thrilled to share what they know, and you might just find a deeper connection in the process. But confidence is not just about learning to use a device. It's also about trusting yourself to interpret the information these tools provide. For instance, if your fitness tracker suggests you move, but you're feeling tired, give yourself permission to rest. If a heart rate spike seems unusual, don't panic, simply jot it down and share it with your doctor. Technology is there to support you, not boss you around. It's also helpful to talk openly about frustrations. Take Martha, for example, a 73-year-old who joined an online forum for seniors learning about health gadgets. She was surprised to find hundreds of people sharing the same questions. How do I charge this thing? What does this light mean? Is it normal for the numbers to change all day? Through these honest conversations, Martha learned practical tips and, more importantly, realized she wasn't alone. These small communities, whether in person or online, become lifelines, encouraging everyone to stick with their health routines and celebrate their victories, big or small. Remember, your journey into technology isn't a race. There's no finish line, just a series of steps forward, each one bringing you closer to independence, safety, and peace of mind. Be gentle with yourself as you learn. Celebrate your progress, whether it's remembering to check your blood pressure, sending a message to a loved one, or simply walking a few more steps than yesterday. Most importantly, keep your focus on what matters most. Using these tools to support the life you want to live. Maybe it's playing with grandkids, traveling with friends, tending your garden, or enjoying a sunrise walk. Whatever your goals, let technology be your companion, not your master. As we round out this conversation, reflect for a moment on how far you've already come. From the first time you learned to use a new remote or sent your first text, you've shown resilience, curiosity, and a willingness to keep growing. These same qualities will serve you well as you explore the world of smart tech for health. And don't forget, you're paving the way for others, showing your friends, your family, and your community that age is no barrier to learning, adapting, and thriving. Each new skill, each new habit is not just a personal achievement, but an inspiration for those who come after you. So keep moving forward, reach out when you need support, and always remember, you're never too old to try something new. The journey to better health, just like life itself, is richer, brighter, and more meaningful when we travel it together. And so, as we come to the end of our journey today, exploring how smart technology can help seniors prevent pulmonary embolism, let's take a moment to reflect together on what really matters. We've talked about devices, habits, and hope. But at the core of it all, this conversation is about something much deeper. Your power to take control of your health, to stay connected, and to keep living a life filled with meaning and independence. Now, maybe you're still wondering, can I really do this? Will a little gadget really make a difference for someone like me? If you're feeling a little unsure, you're not alone. Change can feel uncomfortable and even a bit scary, especially when it comes to technology. But let's remember the story of Barbara, a grandmother from Texas who, after her own health scare, decided to join a local tech club at the community center. At first, Barbara felt overwhelmed just looking at her new fitness tracker. The buttons seemed tiny, the screen was hard to read, and the app confused her. But she didn't give up. Each week, she learned something new, asked questions, and even laughed at her own mistakes. In a few months, not only could Barbara confidently track her steps and check her heart rate, but she also made new friends who shared her journey. It's stories like Barbara's that show us what's possible. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to reach out for help or to offer a hand to someone else just beginning. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. So as you move forward from this video, let's review a few simple but powerful takeaways. First, remember that technology is a tool, a helpful companion, not a replacement for your own wisdom or intuition. Trust your instincts. If you feel something is off in your body, don't wait for a device to tell you. Reach out to your doctor. Talk to a friend and seek advice. The very best health outcomes happen when technology and human insight work together. Next, embrace community. Share what you've learned today with others, maybe a spouse, a friend from your bridge club, or a neighbor you see at morning coffee. Invite them to join you in building new habits. Form a walking group, swap stories about your experiences with smart devices, and keep each other motivated. When we connect with one another, we multiply our strength. And here's something else to hold on to. Never underestimate the ripple effect of your courage and curiosity. When you try something new, whether it's wearing a fitness band, joining an online health class, or simply speaking up at your next doctor's appointment, you set an example. You show the next generation and even your peers that growing older doesn't mean standing still. In fact, it's one of the best times in life to keep moving, keep learning, and keep reaching for what's possible. If you're watching this right now and thinking about a loved one who might need this information, don't hesitate. Share the video, have a conversation, or even sit down together to explore new devices. Sometimes, the first step isn't about pressing a button or charging a gadget, it's about opening a door, making a call, or holding someone's hand. As we close, I want to thank you not just for your attention, but for your willingness to stay engaged, to keep asking questions, and to take charge of your health. Remember the story of John, a retired firefighter from Ohio. John never thought he'd need a smartwatch, But after his doctor recommended it, he tried and soon discovered that the gentle reminders to get up, the heart rate alerts, and the encouragement from his kids not only kept him safer, but gave him new energy and confidence. "I feel like I'm part of the world again," he told his daughter. "I'm not just watching from the sidelines." Isn't that what we all want? To feel connected, vital, and truly present in our lives, no matter our age. So let's honor that desire in ourselves and in each other. Whether you're taking your first step with technology or you've been using it for years, your story matters. Your willingness to learn, to adapt, and to share what you know can and will make a difference. Before you go, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, share your own experiences in the comments, and become part of a community dedicated to lifelong health and learning. Every week, we'll bring you honest advice, inspiring stories, and the latest information to help you thrive. And always remember, you are not alone on this path. There are people right here and all around you who care, who want to help, and who are cheering you on. So here's to your health, your happiness, and your future. May every step, every connection, and every new discovery bring you closer to the life you deserve. Thank you for watching, for caring, and for being part of this journey with us. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep moving forward.